What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Blitz Sports Media. My name is Ryan Linkletter. I'm back with Dan Loya. It's been a minute, Dan. Good to have you back. We are talking the Las Vegas Raiders today. Dan covers the Raiders, and we know what they're going with the first overall pick, but what else should we expect from Las Vegas in the draft?
Man, a lot, dude. They have a lot of picks. They're gonna get some young talent here coming up. Start to build a foundation for the future. So I'm excited, as a fan and someone that covers the team for it to be better than last season. 'Cause last season was a tough watch. It was one of the worst seasons in recent history, and it's only gonna get better from here.
Yep. So we're going to get right into it. Blitz Sports Media mock draft simulator, 7 rounds, trades, whatever you want. No paywall behind that like PFF or any other site you're going to use. We're looking at top available at number 1. I'm just going to lock it in. It's Fernando Mendoza. Dan, why don't you talk to me about what Mendoza brings to this Raiders offense at the quarterback position?
Yeah. So last year, Geno Smith, man, was supposed to be the guy. He's supposed to be a little bridge, but unfortunately, the Raiders didn't protect him. And I don't think Geno Smith's as bad as like the general public makes it out to be. But eventually, Geno Smith was getting beat up so much that it was starting to get to him. Man, he was starting to have, he was getting in bad things with fans. The season was starting to wear on him, man, and that it was just time. The Raiders cleaned house, and Fernando Mendoza's coming in. He's going to bring leadership. He's got good size, and there's just one stat I got to pull up. I meant to pull it up before we started today about Mendoza in the red zone. Hang on, real quick. I got it bookmarked here. Fernando Mendoza in the red zone this season, this year after that TD pass. 31 TDs, 0 interceptions, man. He's automatic in the red zone, and the Raiders haven't had that from the quarterback position in quite some time. So it's going to be real exciting next season.
Yeah, he's going to change what they got. And they got some nice offensive weapons in place like Ashton Genty, Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
Receivers, a big thing we're going to talk about. And, in the second round, based on how the board fell right now, the top available receiver is Chris Bell. You got his teammate D'Angelo Pons potentially helping that cornerback room there. Are there any guys in this list that you look at and are like, okay, Las Vegas, potentially has to add them, or any names, you like in general?
Yeah, I think their cornerback room is very thin right now, and yeah, so we'll look at the cornerback. I'm surprised Akeem Mesidor. I'm surprised. I think he's going in the first round.
Yeah.
But
Sometimes some guys slip. Messidor is one of those
yeah,
guys that's available at 36.
that's crazy. All right, let's see.
You got Colton
Colton Hood.
Hood,
Hmm.
D'Angelo Pons, Chris Johnson, Keith Abney are the top
Okay,
corners available.
okay, yeah, I'm gonna go D'Angelo Pons,
All right, I
Indiana.
like it. So you're keeping the Indiana guys together.
Yeah, so I was actually thinking about this. In 2019, the Raiders kind of, I'm kind of feeling the same draft here. 2019, they drafted like 4 players from Clemson after they won the national championship, and I'm kind of feeling it this year that they're going to draft a few from Indiana.
Hey, you bring a winning culture in, that might help things. And I think cornerback may be one of the more underrated spots that these Raiders try to target, just because I think,
Yeah, they need.
everybody's talking about the wide receiver room, but with the way the board's currently shaking out, right, it's Chris Bell likely or bust for the Raiders. And are they going to buy into the talent of Chris Bell, or are they going to wait till later in the draft to potentially add? You have Elijah Sarrett, another Surratt
Yeah, is
from
he still
Indiana.
there?
Yeah, he's
Yeah, we
still
on the
there in the
board.
third round.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah, we're going him.
You're gonna triple stack? We're triple
Yeah,
stacking.
dude.
All right, bet. Let's go. Tell me a
Uh,
little bit what you like
it's
about him.
dude, it's happened before, and that's why I'm like, wow, that'd be kind of funny if they do it again. But yeah, dude, he's got a connection with Mendoza, man. Back shoulder throws. He's a good player, and yeah, I always thought he's a day. What day? It would be day 2. Yeah,
Day
around
two,
day
yep.
3. Yeah, day 2 prospect, and I don't know what you saw at the combine, but yeah, man, I think he's a good player. He's gonna come in with just establish a new culture, a winning culture. Players that like to work. That's what Signetti did in Indiana. I think he's gonna be a good fit with the new regime, man. Good
Dude,
size. I like him.
I really hope we can find some more Indiana guys throughout this draft just to keep stacking and adding on to our Indiana build right now. With the Raiders coming up
All right,
next,
what
are
we
there
got?
any positions that like we need to take a look at? So we have a cornerback, we got a wide receiver, we
Are
got
we
a
up?
quarterback.
Hang
No,
on,
no,
it's
not
still
yet. I'm
going
just
up.
asking you, is there any positions outside of those three that, you have some red flags up?
Yeah, I was looking at that safety.
So we
Safeties
got
going now.
Genesis. I'll pull up the safeties right now. Top available safeties:
Oh, okay.
Genesis Smith,
Mhm.
Michael Taffy from Texas, Bishop Fitzgerald, VJ Payne. Is there any other positions, or you like one of those guys?
I know I've heard of Genesis Smith, and then I don't know if this is that can't be the same guy from Texas I've been looking at. Six
Yeah, it
two. How
is.
tall is he? 6 foot. Do. We'll go Genesis Smith. I know there's some things he's got to work on. I believe it's tackling, but he's got good
Yeah,
size. And with our new defensive coordinator, Rob Leonard, I really think he's trying to build like kind of like the Seattle. He's had a lot of experience with different quarterbacks, defensive coordinators, Spagnola, Mike McDonald, and I think he's really trying to build the Seattle team from last year, the Super Bowl team. So D'Angelo Pons is going to be kind of like Devin Witherspoon. I think they're trying to look for their Nick Eamon, and hopefully this guy's it, man. 6'2", 204. This guy's probably more of a deep safety, but that's what they're trying to build.
yeah, it's a
We'll
deep
see.
safety class. I think the Raiders are going to have the Raiders. It feels like a lot of teams need safety at this point with the Raiders
Yeah,
back up at 117. So there's definitely, it's a deep safety class, and I think a lot of these safeties could be going earlier than expected because people want the talent, and there's a lot of talent at the safety position in this draft class.
yeah.
Heading into 117 here, top available: Chandler Rivers, cornerback from Duke; Deion Burks,
Okay.
wide receiver from Oklahoma; Darrell Jackson Jr., defensive tackle from Florida State; Jake Slaughter,
Mhm.
center from Florida; Isaiah World, offensive tackle from Oregon. Or are there a specific position you potentially want to take a look at?
So what pick are we on? 102
We're
or
on
no?
we're on 117. We just picked out
So
102.
okay, yeah. So they have three fourth rounders, I believe. I think we got another one coming up. Let's see, what do we got here?
Yeah, I got
One,
you. I'll pull
yeah,
that up. 134.
we got one. Yeah, 134. So I think because there's a guy I'm looking at, but I don't know if he's gonna be there. We'll just pick him now. We'll just pick him now because they're on the roster right now. They only have Genty and Dylan Labe, and then there's someone else that's slipping my mind here real quick.
Ooh, who's it gonna be?
Oh, Chris Collier. So they need to add a running back, and I think this is why they didn't add a veteran yet. Where's he at? Oh man, is he gone? Let's
Who are you
see.
thinking?
I think it's Allen. I think I'm thinking of Allen. Yeah, Allen.
Katron Allen.
Allen's,
He's sitting right here.
yeah, hang on. This is the one that's hurt, right? Yeah. No, the
Well,
one
no,
that hurt his foot.
Singleton's the one that's hurt. Allen is more that
Yeah. Okay.
bruiser type power back. Um,
Yep.
I
Yeah,
like
that's
Allen.
the
I
one I'm
think
thinking.
Allen's a pretty good player.
Yeah. So I think they're going running back here.
All right, so let's get Katron Allen in there. Katron Allen's actually my fourth highest running back out of this class. I'm a little bit
Okay.
higher on him than most. I think he fits what a lot of these offenses are looking for around the goal line, potential three
Yeah.
down back with his size. He's not the most athletic guy in the world, but I think he can play at the NFL level. And whether he's in a rotation like he could be in Las Vegas, or he has a clear
Yeah.
opportunity to snaps, like that guy can play a little bit. And I think it'd be a nice add for Las Vegas there. And we're sitting here at 134. I don't know what your thoughts are, but Markel Brown from Miami, massive
Yeah.
six
I
foot
like this
nine
guy.
tackle.
Yeah.
You just take the upside here, right?
Yeah. I was looking at him too. Yeah. He because watched a lot of Miami games. Obviously in the postseason for college football, but looking at the right tackle Francis Moyaga, and then you look
Yeah.
at the other guy and you're like, wow, this dude's bigger, this tackle Bell, and he's 6'9", and yeah, he's a menace. So yeah, man, you're shooting for upside in round 4, and yeah, I like that pick.
All right, and we're gonna come up here at 175. Top available is Jay Barham, linebacker from Michigan. I know the Raiders invested a lot in linebackers, so that's probably off the
Yeah,
table. A name that I want to float by you, Demonte Capehart from Clemson, a guy that struggled with injuries this past year, has a ton of talent. I mean, defensive tackle. Do you think it's a potential move for the Raiders here later in the draft?
yeah, they definitely need a interior defensive lineman here. Let me pull up their roster, make sure. Yeah, so we address corner starters. So here we're going 90 man here. Yeah, they do have a lot of D tackles though, because they drafted Pegasus last year, Tonka Hemingway. They got Booker, Adam Butler. So they got four. They got 4 good ones right now, or 4 okay ones. I think another linebacker. I think another position they need is a linebacker.
You think they need more linebacker
Like a
depth?
yeah, so like more so not like a hybrid, like a more like land shark type. That's what they need, a big thumper in the middle.
I think Barham
Oh,
probably
okay,
fits that for them. So we probably go
okay.
Barham here. He's a bigger size linebacker who's pretty athletic, can fill in,
Michigan.
whether an injury happens or just right away play, against the run. I think it would be a good value for them at
Hey,
this point, anyways.
okay, pull up a linebacker real quick. Like
Hold
pull
up,
up all the names.
I just selected him. I'll pull up the other guys real quick though.
Oh, okay, it's fine.
It was the guys after that though. I know that there's a kind of a bigger drop off at linebacker. Owen Heineke from Oklahoma, Jack Kelly from BYU,
Yeah, Kelly.
Brad
Yeah,
Murdoch.
I think Kelly. Yeah, Jack Kelly's the name I'm looking at here.
Jack
'Cause he's a
Kelly. Do you
team
want to go
captain.
double? You want to go double linebacker?
Yeah, sure, why not, man? We're having some fun here. He's a
Lock
team
in 2 line.
captain.
What
Yeah,
do you
he's a
say?
team captain. Team captain. So I know the Raiders are gonna draft a lot of team captains.
That's the goal. Draft team captains.
Yeah, that's what they do,
A
man.
bunch of guys with the C's on their chest.
That's it. That's what they like.
All right. So at
What we
208
got
here,
here?
I want to float Eric Rivers' name by you. A gritty slot receiver, Georgia Tech in a run first offense, going a little bit later in drafts. What's your thoughts on that type of a fit?
5. See, because they already have Trey Tucker. Is this our last pick already?
No, we have 2 more picks left.
Okay. So they have Trey Tucker, and that's kind of our slot receiver, and he's about to. Well, he's actually smaller. 5. Hang on, let me pull up the height real quick. And I know he's 5'8". So that's kind of our slot guy here. So I don't think they're going receiver, especially if they draft a Surratt like we did.
Yeah.
I think it'd be another like defensive back, safety,
Okay. So
somewhere there,
let me
corner.
look at what we got back there. So we got cornerback, Prysock from Washington, Thaddeus Dixon from North Carolina, Damani Jackson from
Mhm.
Alabama, Devin Marshall, NC State, some of the top available guys there. Then at safety, you have Jalen Husky from Maryland, Jalen Stroman from Notre Dame, Robert Spears Jennings,
Uh,
Oklahoma. Are there any names there that pop out to you from
yeah,
what you know about the
there
pod?
there was a cornerback from Toledo. I don't know if he's still there. Just scroll down a little bit.
Avery
Toledo.
Smith,
How tall is he? No, that's not him. No, the guy I was looking at is probably gone. I think he
Nasir
was like a
Bowers, 5'9", 182.
no, no.
Are you
Yeah,
thinking of
he's
Emmanuel
gone.
McNeil Warren?
No, that's the guy that probably won the first, right?
Yeah,
There's another
he
guy.
went borderline first, early second.
Yeah, no. There's another guy that was going deep because I did like a quick mock draft yesterday, and I was like, oh man, look at this guy from Toledo. I think they're built like, who's the corner from Quinion Mitchell? He's from
Yeah.
Toledo, and I think they got some sneaky guys in the secondary there. Uh, Dixon, Thaddeus Dixon, North Carolina. How tall is he?
Thaddeus Dixon is a 6', 186. Prysock is 6'4", 195.
Oh,
And yeah, that's what I'm saying. Prysock is kind of
is
what
that
fits the scheme.
yeah? Oh yeah, go ahead. Let's go watch.
All right, let's lock him in there. And then coming up with our 220th pick. It's our last one, Dan. Give me a position. Let's go with snag a guy.
Yeah, we got. I didn't see fullbacks. We don't have a fullback thing on here,
Nah, we ain't got fullbacks in the top 400.
right? I think they definitely want a fullback. No kicker. They got kickers on here.
Yeah, we got kickers. Yeah, I know Carlson. So Trace Mack, I know, is probably kicker one. Matsuzuwaka from Hawaii's a name I know for sure. So I think
Wow.
consensus Trace Mack is up there.
What's his distance, Trace Mack? What's his like? He's a power guy, strong
I
legged.
got no clue. I just know he kicks very good.
All right.
Matsuzuwaka was a first team All American last year for kickers from Hawaii.
Okay. All right. We'll pick the Hawaii guy.
All right, bet.
They call Vegas Ninth Island. So yeah, let's do that.
So yeah, we got our kicker replacement for Carlson then.
Yeah, well, they
Okay.
signed Matt Gay. They signed Matt Gay, but I don't know what the contract's like, and I really think yeah they're gonna try to get a
All right.
kicker like
So
during the
looking at our
draft
mock
or
draft here, Dan,
post.
we're gonna pull this thing up right now. What are your thoughts on this overall? You got Mendoza, Pons, Surratt, Genesis Smith, Katron Allen, Markel Bell, Jay Sean Barham, Jack Kelly, Prize Sock, and then the kicker from Hawaii. Like, what would you overall grade this draft if this happened to the Raiders on draft day?
I think, ah, man, great. I'll give it a B, I guess.
The B, what's wrong with it? What do you not like?
No, I don't know. It's kind of hard to trade grade a draft on draft day. You know, you got to wait a couple of years.
No, that's
But I
not
like
how
the
we do
players.
things. That's not how we do things here. If you were talking to Raiders
Uh,
Nation right now and they saw this
yeah.
draft, you think they're pissed off at you or be like, Dan Loya knows ball?
No, they're probably upset with me. But
They're probably upset.
no, I don't know, dude. I think it's solid, dude. I think it's solid. I mean, you went to the combine. Um, I mean, I haven't like dug on like the cornerback from Washington. I haven't done tape study on him or anything, but I'm familiar with most of these names on here, and I think it's pretty solid. I mean, when you got Markel Bell, fourth round pick, I like that. And then those two linebackers from good organizations, Michigan Big Ten, BYU was at Big 12. Some solid linebackers. I know that Jack Kelly I was reading on last night. He's team captain, so I like the picks. I think it's solid, but I think it's positions. I really obviously they're gonna go Mendoza, and then everyone's talking about wide receiver. I think if one of them falls in the second round, they might get one. But I really think they need secondary, dude. They really
Yeah, I
need some
think
secondary
the
help.
message for the Raiders' second round pick is going to be best available. What can they get at that
Yeah,
spot and not reach on, potentially a receiver? It doesn't make sense at that spot. They need to go get best available. This Raiders teams could still use a little bit in different spots, but I think this gives them a lot of depth at different positions that they desperately need. And I think if their defense really does a good job of adding secondary help in this draft class, they could be a sneaky underrated unit entering the 2026 season. So drop a comment down below. What were your thoughts on this mock draft between me and Dan for the Raiders? Drop that grade and hit that subscribe button for more Blitz Sports Media content. Me and Dan will catch you all next time.